Welcome back, everybody. We have reached our $3,000 goal, and so we're going to have the Special versus Scarlet show match in Brood War. This is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Brood War, man. It's going to be my first time casting Brood War. I'm going to be honest.
This is your first time.
I don't know a lot about this game.
Oh, it's fine.
I
Me too,
played
but-
Protoss, and I just proxy. I just proxy 9-9 gated a bunch of people, and I got like D or C rank or something. But I don't know anything actually.
Oh,
Our toast would be like, wow, why are you not S
you
right
should be
now?
S rank.
You should be S rank. Just make 2 gates.
Well, we're going to get, I think, Special in the game soon. We're going to hop into this. Best of 1. It should be noted, excuse me, Special has had a very long and rich history in Brood War. He started at the age of 10, was, I think pretty quickly, to be frank, the best Mexican player through the vast majority of Mexican StarCraft history. There were some other players that were good but never really came close to where he was at. Of course, Special moving to Korea. When did he move to Korea? Pretty early on in StarCraft 2. He was in Korea even for StarCraft 1, I think, a little bit. Is that correct?
I have no clue. It's before my time.
Right in between the two.
He was here for Pro League
Looks like he's ready
StarCraft
to
2
go,
as
by the
well.
way.
Okay.
But Scarlett came back and tried StarCraft Remastered and actually managed to get S rank, which is insane to me. S rank is crazy hard to get in Korea. That's like being GM, basically, but on an extremely active server.
But she plays Protoss, right?
Scarlett plays Protoss. Artosis would point fingers at that right away. And Special will be playing Terran. That's been his default race in both StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. But Scarlett did switch to Protoss here for
You
Brood
did
War.
play against both of them, right?
I
Brood
did.
War. How did that go?
I took a game off Scarlett.
Oh, yeah?
I think we had a best of 7. I took 1 or 2 games. No, I think I took 1 game off. There was one I think I could have won, but I think I got nervous. I'm like, oh, it's real. I might beat her. And then Special actually 3-0'd me, but I would like to rematch him if I have a chance.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Is this like a I take winner situation right now?
By the way, guys, see the goal at the very top. If you're enjoying the show, it's going to be on tomorrow, but we have not hit our 5K goal. We're at about 3,050 USD here, so the support is appreciated. By the way, $25 in. Bakayoma says, hi, thanks for signing my sign at the GSL. I almost wasn't able to read.
What was that?
I was like,
That was
thanks
alarming.
for signing up my sign up. Sorry, Tasteless. Hope TLP turns into a regular event. Well, thank you. This is our second one. Yeah, I want to do another one of these early in next year.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun.
So, guys, the support is appreciated.
Especially good to have it now when we're hitting the off season. We only have like two tournaments left before Katowice. Right, we've got Atlanta coming up in like a month, and then Super Tournament around the same time. So
Right.
we're gonna be hitting that low at the end of the year where we don't really have that many events. So having something like this, locally here in Korea is really a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's nice to have something in the off seasons, I think. And let's hop into this game. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. I do want to point out when I played against Special in our Brood War show match, I think this was like a year ago, he dropped more than any player I've ever seen.
He played
It was like
StarCraft 2
StarCraft 2. He was like
In TVP?
TVP, just dropping vultures everywhere, but like on a level that
Oh yeah.
it was so hard to keep up with. Scarlett I found to be very clean, very on top of like everything you need to do. I feel like she may be stronger coming into this, especially if she's been active in the modern meta. Yeah, I think so. Well, she got to 2,500. She did say that was Canadian MMR, so not on the Korean server, but like 2,500 is really hard to get even outside of Korea. That's an insanely high number.
So how much experience do you have, Ryan, with this game? Have you played a
Well,
lot of it, or like just tried it once when you were like a kid?
In proper StarCraft Brood War, I played just a little tiny bit. Like maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen games in total in like
That
the past
little?
couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, not a lot. But when I was younger, StarCraft on the Nintendo 64 was my introduction to the genre.
Really?
I think it might have been my first RTS. It was either that or Warcraft 2. I can't remember. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's how I got into the RTS genre. And Nintendo 64 Brood War is how I got into. Is it even Brood War in Nintendo 64 version? I don't know.
It is Brood War. I think
Yeah.
it's Brood War if you have like the N64 expansion pack. Or
You need like the
something
extra
that.
RAM thingy
Yeah.
to access Brood War and
Yeah.
multiplayer. And
Medics can't heal unless they have the RAM cartridge.
It was a
in the
crazy
N64.
era, but yeah, that was my introduction to the game, and then transitioned from that into StarCraft Brood War on PC. But like, I don't think I ever played a multiplayer match. I'm pretty sure I played against a Terran AI, and like, I lost like a siege tank push, and that was my only like 1v1 experience was losing to the computer. But I did like the campaign. It was a lot of fun. I played Protoss back then too.
I was a campaign guy.
Yeah.
Through as a kid. I remember for me it was Warcraft 2, and like we had it at my grandparents' house. They have, it's like those families at that time where it's like there's one computer in the whole family.
Yeah.
And so like they'd be using the computer of the day, so I'd wake up in the middle of the night to sneak out and play Warcraft 2.
Oh, that's
campaign.
cool.
And I'd be like playing for an hour and eventually realize I'm just not going to beat this mission. I got to go back to bed, and then
I always
sleep
wanted
through
to.
school.
I always wanted to play Warcraft 2, but my brother would just like hug the computer and literally would never share with me. And I think him not letting me play is what like turned me into a gamer, because it was like the forbidden fruit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like I just like craved it so bad. Occasionally he'd go over to like his friend's house and have like a little LAN party thing with
Yeah.
them, and that would be my time to play.
Yeah, no, I remember having that with my brother where I wouldn't let him on. Like, it's like I need to just get my time in. I just got back from school and I need to play.
I wasn't an only child, so I only just played for 12 hours a day.
Dream. By the way, Scarlett going to go for a fast expand. Can we check if she's making a robo?
She's going for 2 gates.
2 gate, but then I guess
Should
robo
be
a
a
little bit
robo.
later. So, yeah, double gateway. And by the way, both these builds extremely normal. Special's going to go for the push. Now, this is kind of a little bit of an older way to play, so I'm a little bit worried. With Scarlett especially going for double gate and trying to push up this ramp, Special could be in trouble because range goons are going to chew this up as they make their journey over there.
Yeah, I think Special has the right idea, but like the optimization just isn't there. Like he made a bunch of Marines that you don't really make that many in the early game. I like the mine follow up, but yeah, he won't really be able to move too far out on the map.
Control was insane. Did Sasha take any hull damage on those Dragoons?
Oh,
It
definitely
was all
not.
shields.
I mean, this feels kind of random from Special's side because his command center is going to be very delayed, and his build didn't really do what it needed to do. I think like he was hesitant about pushing out, and then I'm not sure if like the build order itself on Special's side is correct.
No, I don't think it made a lot of sense, but you're also a modern player, right? I mean, Ziggy, you're A rank, S rank, off and on. Yeah, people don't normally do that approach. I think in the earlier days of the game, people would try to get a expand really fast, and a lot of Terrans would double expand like right away, and so the Vulture Marine tank push could punish that. Hold on a second. Are these okay? Now this is Scarlett just being so good. Completely walls this, and now these vultures are going to get wrecked. Damn, Scarlett.
Yeah, it also goes back to Special scouting as well, because his SCV reached Scarlett's base when the first Dragoon came out, so the timing was kind of off with the SCV. Normally you kind of want to check if there's a Nexus at 4 minutes, at the 4-minute mark. If there's no Nexus, then it means something fishy is going on, but Special couldn't confirm that, so he just went for the mines to stay safe, against any double gate Dragoon push or like DTs. But he's kind of playing in the dark, or at least the first part of the game.
Yeah, Scarlett's not doing anything particularly, no pun intended, special here. Like it just is like a very basic opening. She's covering the map with pylons to spot for drops. She's just growing at a steady rate. Special got kind of beaten up early on. And so it looks like Special's going to go for a drop. We were kind of talking about this earlier. He really does play StarCraft 1 like StarCraft 2.
Did he always have that kind of play style, or is this something that he's
No.
adapted since his success in StarCraft 2?
I mean, people always vulture dropped for sure. And we'll see how right I am or wrong I am about this as we kind of get further along into the game. But, it's the idea is that, like, you know, when StarCraft 2, we have these medevac drops that kind of happen everywhere, especially against Zerg.
Yeah.
You know, where they're hitting so many locations, and one of them's gonna not be tended to like it needs to. He liked to do that here too. And by the way, there's no third command center unless I'm missing something here. So this is really going to come down to powering up, dropping and killing off workers where he can, and at the same time, then following that up with a push. Now, what I'm worried for here with Special is that SCARLETT is a natural against this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and she's got a ton of Dragoons as well. Look at this, already spreading these units across not only your main base, but the natural and the third, and just appears to be a perfect setup, especially with those pylons out for vision and the observer right on top of the starport for the Terran player as well. Just has a complete idea of what's going on. Even seeing, I don't know what that building's called. The Academy.
The Academy, yes.
What is the Academy for Tasteless?
Oh, you well, you could get it to get stim. You won't be doing that this game. This is for the scan on the command centers. He has held off on getting this earlier because he wanted to make more SCVs, but I don't see Special making more SCVs, which is probably very deliberate. He probably wants to basically just try to do a 2-base timing all in here.
If this were to be a 2-base timing attack, as you said, it would have made more sense if he had just gone up to 6 factories instead of going for the drops, right? Has he even tried dropping yet, or no? This is like his first dropship, right?
It seems like it, right? By the way, those scanners are going to come down. So he's going to have exactly 2 scans to either map out the enemy's position or to try to check for detection. Can we get a shot of the Protoss's main, Gemini, please?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry, is there an Arbiter tech or Carrier tech? I don't see anything. Okay.
She went Twilight.
So
Gateway Man, right?
Gateway Man. well, this is how you want to play against two base. Is you just get mass Dragoons and get speed lots, maybe get a shuttle in there too, and try to take a fight.
Yeah, getting like 2, even 3 shuttles recently became more of a thing, like a year or 2 ago.
It's
with
so hard to
Gateway
play
Man.
like that.
Yeah, because you either get 4 Goliaths or 8 against a shell because you need 8 Goliath shots to kill a shell, right? And then to counteract that, pros players started just getting 2 or 3 shuttles because it becomes so much more difficult to snipe them before the units unload the tanks.
This is a very cute position here for Special. I like that.
Oh, he's got to be
It's gonna
careful.
get picked off. I mean,
Oh,
Maybe it's not that cute.
Oh,
that was a good mine. Still, I mean, very costly.
yeah.
Well, considering he's on 2 bases, I don't think that was the right investment.
I almost would have liked to see that with Special pushing out on the map at the same time. Is Special still just kind of ramping up on 2 bases?
Yeah, well, he's going to need to come out and attack here pretty fast. I think maybe some of the theory might be off on, you know, you're going to drop, you're going to hit these locations, okay, but then you have to have a push with that, in my opinion. I think if you're going to play like at the, you know, absolute 100%, you need to have the drop hitting in a place that's going to pull the army out of position, and then the main army has to kind of battering ram their way in. You set up, you siege, you plant your mines, you make your turrets, and try to play from there. Now, Special's done a good job littering the map with mines, but SCARLETT's done an equally good job of cleaning them up.
It's the yin and yang of PvT.
Yeah.
The mine planting and the mine clearing.
But Special needs to be careful because if he bleeds off too many of these vultures... Wait, is there tanks with this? It's just vultures out here right now.
Yeah, he's losing quite a lot of units, gaining nothing in return with these vultures.
The thing is, unless you see a Dragoon get blown up by a spider mine, most likely the vultures did not trade out for anything.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, vultures just don't generally kill Dragoons by shooting them down. So I'm worried that as this main push comes down, this might be a very, very straightforward PvT here.
It's a lot of siege tanks, though.
It's not even at full control. It's not that many, considering how.
Never mind. I don't know anything.
No. If you look at the numbers, like there is just too much progress at the moment. I think maybe this attack won't really work for SCARLETT because she's going into that gauntlet. But there's not enough vultures to protect these tanks, I don't think. Well, actually, he's getting really good shots on the Dragoons.
Oh yeah, his Special's targeting really well. The one thing you don't want to do is have your siege tanks target target the zealots because
Just had to get that out real quick.
yeah, because if they target the zealots, then you're going to blow up your own siege tanks with your damage. So like really good players, when they micro, they force target the Dragoons and let the vultures clear the zealots.
I mean, Special has a window of opportunity here because Scarlett basically threw her entire army away, and like, is Storm done yet? Does she even have energy? I think so.
We don't know because it's more UI. But,
Yeah.
Let's find out. There's enough energy.
This is a lot of terror.
Seems like it.
Oh, these are good
nice
storms.
Okay, that is probably going to be closing it out because I think that the push will go all the way across. Oh my God. Very modern play by Scarlett, by the way.
Every single storm hit. Maybe that first push out there onto a special side of the map was to buy enough time for Storm to finish, and those High Templar to get the energy.
Well, I think also, you know, this is sort of a really great example of how to play against someone who's just going to power in 2 bases, is like delay your tech. And honestly, you're probably going to have to win the game by just fighting their army head on, not by like teching the carriers or by trying to get an Arbiter and trying to recall on their base. So getting the 4 Templar is sort of a really good end game tech to finish off that fight. Now, that being said, Scarlett is just now finishing that 4th Nexus up. I don't even think there's probes up there. Well, not yet, but I mean, there's vultures in the way. So this is becoming, to my surprise, actually more and more of an interesting game. I thought we were kind of in a position where Scarlett was just going to flatten Special and we'd be done. But, you know, Special's on a 3rd base. Scarlett isn't mining from this base right now. Supplies, not that different. But as you can see, by the way, Special continuously harassing on the map the whole time with the vultures.
Yeah, but I still think that what happened really favors Scarlett, despite like the supply being relatively, well, maybe not tragic for Special, right? But he lost a lot of tanks, and like we have to remember that this map actually affects what kind of a composition you're going to be getting, because the 3rd base you take as a Terran is always going to be the mineral only, right, against Protoss on this map. Like most of the time it's going to be the mineral only, which means every tank you make matters more because you're going to have less gas, right? And the fact that he lost his entire like tank army in the early game is going to come back to buy him later on.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Ziggy. That you know, every tank you lose is it's going to be gone forever, right? I mean, minerals you're always going to have with the mineral-only base, but like dropping those, I think it was like 11 tanks or something early on. That's a pretty hard reset here.
Can we take a look at the upgrades for the Terran? No
Oh,
upgrades.
0 and 0. What about Scarlett?
1-1.
Can we go check if there's an armory spinning? Uh-oh.
There's one.
1 armory.
It's only 1. Yep. Uno.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty bad. You know, Terran upgrades are a lot better than the Protoss upgrades in the game.
They scale better with the siege tank.
They scale, yeah. I mean, siege tanks with splash, but armor as well. Actually, the Protoss upgrades. I mean, it's always better to have them than to not have them. And there's really not a game that goes on for a long time where you wouldn't want to have the upgrades. But that's too bad because I think if Special had gotten. They've been getting close to getting +2 right now, which is a reasonable upgrade to have. We're almost, what, now we're 16 minutes into the game. That would probably be what would allow Special to try to fight back. But this game now looks like it's going to go to Scarlett and whether or not she can control the bottom center and basically keep Terran on, you know, 3 bases for as long as possible.
How impactful is a hold-up bot actually is when skirmish in the middle of the map, these vultures going to kite away from a lot of gateway units. Scarlett almost maxed now at 194.
Yeah, Scarlett has 2 choices
Oh,
right now.
what a nice catch.
It's either trading against the Terran because she's maxed out and her economy is better, or just taking the entire map. She could just take like 3 more next night and force Special to do something, right? But I think she's going to choose that trading option. You know, just constantly throwing units away at the Terran, just like, you know, you would play Zerg in StarCraft 2, when you get maxed.
Yeah, it certainly does seem that way.
You go at that.
Yeah, Protoss is definitely like a Zerg in this matchup, for sure. Now, Scarlett's going to try to come in here. Now, one of the hard parts about Protoss really is that, like, you can try to come into these angles and kind of under or overestimate your ability to break it. It seems like Scarlett has calculated this one very well. And I don't see any more tanks below this. That's going to be it. GG. Special falls, and Scarlett wins that match. I gotta say, that was a great series.
Yeah.
Great game, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Scarlett's good at Brutal.
She's so solid.
Wow.
It's crazy.
The build was like stylistically sound, right? This is something you would see from like a pro, just optimized better. But Special had the right idea, but maybe not really the right build order.
You think it was
But
an
SCARLETT,
execution issue?
From the
I think it
Special
was like
side,
an ordering
it was like
issue, build orders, I think.
like the idea wasn't. It's hard to like pinpoint what I mean to say, but like if we focus on SCARLETT, like she played a stylistically sound thing that you would see from a pro, but just optimized better.
Yeah, I think like from A to Z, SCARLETT like hit all of her marks. Special did seem to like want to do this 2-base timing, and then he started dropping a bunch and harassing, and that's kind of how people played in the old days. But it feels like now if you're going to do a 2-base build, which by the way I think is pretty hard for Protoss to fight against if it's done right, all the pieces need to come together perfectly. So your drop is going to hit in the ideal location, and your push will come in. You'll get wedged into a spot, and then you try to take advantage of that and win the game. And I think there was a little bit too much harass where, you know, if you're not being pushed, all you have to do is the Protoss is like just run around and kill off the vultures and protect your probes. And it made for a pretty tough game for Special.
And SCARLETT's defensive setup was really great, too. I mean, she had a spread of Dragoons everywhere. She walled in the natural really quickly, had pylons spread across the map between her base and Special as a spot for drops, too. So, I mean, Special, perhaps he was trying to find a better opening with his drop ships to actually get some damage in and had to settle for that kind of small drop by, I think it was the third base of SCARLETT that really didn't get too much done.
Well, and it was like a cool attack. I mean, he had the vultures there and the tanks are in the back, but like, you're probably better off just dropping 4 vultures in the main and then having all of your tanks come out and trying to cut off the third in the natural, basically. I don't think we need to do interviews, do we? I think we're good.
Josh's like, just go home, guys.
Get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Can we put the StarCraft 2 bracket on screen? I don't know if we have the Day 2 schedule graphic as well, but we'll take what we got. Day 2, here we go. So, guys, we're going to be back at 1 p.m. KST on this channel. We're going to continue on with the StarCraft 2 semifinals, third place, fourth place, grand finals. We will have a special Brood War show match sandwiched in between that, probably around that time of the show. That'll be Snow versus Barracks, another PVT.
Cool, and Solar and Estrella are going to be the top semifinalists. Ragnarok and Percival there on the bottom, so a little bit of everything. We got a Terran, 2 Zergs, and a Protoss in the top 4.
David Kim wins again.
David Kim did it again.
That's going to be a fun top 4 finish, too. I mean, Estrella, we didn't get to see too much of him in GSL, and Ragnarok, GSL finalists. It's going to be a fun day.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, we're going to end the day with the StarCraft 64 tournament. We've got our controllers ready.
I can't wait.
We're doing our thumb stretches, making sure these part of the thumb is good and ready to go, so don't pull any muscles. We managed to raise a little bit over $3,000. I'm sure that there's still some sales coming in from the merch. Check the merch out, tastelessthreads.com, and we're going to try to raise $5K by the end of tomorrow. If we do, we will unlock Tasteless LAN Party 3, so we do hope to earn your support for that starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. KST. And we've got some other goals as well, but we'll get to that when we get there. Any closing thoughts, guys?
It's been a lot of fun, man. It was a treat to be here. I wasn't there at Tasteless LAN Party 1, and it's just been a blast.
Well, I'm glad to have you guys. Gemini, excellent work. Ziggy, excellent work as well with the observing and the casting. And everybody else here who was with us, we appreciate it. Guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. We're going to get some dinner and wake up and get ready for some more StarCraft. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.